We are officially back. Manchester United are officially back. We are finally doing the first match preview of the season. Arsenal are coming to Old Trafford. So you already know the drill. Grab your espresso, grab your coffee, grab your tea, whatever your choice of beverages. And let's get into the preview of Manchester United versus Arsenal. So I've really been trying to figure out what starting 11 Ruben Amorim is going to go with this Sunday. I think there are a few positions that are up for grabs. And as always, let me know in the comments down below what you think the starting 11 should be for Manchester United on Sunday. I think that Ruben Amorim is going to go with Onana in goal. Apparently, he is in full training, and I think if he is ready to go, that he is going to play. I think the back three is going to consist of Lenny Euro, Harry Maguire, and Luke Shaw. Ruben Amorim really likes to have a center back on the left side that is left-footed, and of course, with Lisandro still not fit and ready to play, Luke Shaw offers him the ability to be direct. And as we know, in watching Manchester United last season and watching the preseason, Ruben Amorim loves to get his wide center halves on the ball and play as direct as possible. Fizz the ball out to the striker, who I do think is going to be Sesko, but we'll talk about it, or get the ball into the 10s and have them connect and link play. I think he'll opt with the left-footed player at left center back in Luke Shaw, but I wouldn't be surprised for the height if he goes Maguire in center half, Lenny Euro on the left center half, because he can still progress play through here, and then go Matthias de Ligt on the right side. When it comes to the four, I think, Patrick Dorgu's a no-brainer. I personally think the midfield two is going to be Bruno and Ugarte, with Ugarte obviously playing in that anchor role and Bruno having the freedom to kind of drift and attack these spaces. I'm curious to see what Ahmed and Mbumo can do against an Arsenal side, and we're going to get into Arsenal a little bit here. But I think Ahmed's going to be the right wing back, and then the front three, I think it's going to be the three new signings for the club. I think he is going to go with Matheus Cunha, Benjamin Sesko, and Brian Mbumo. Now, there have been a lot of conversation as well. Is Benjamin Sesko going to be ready to play? He's only been with the team for what will be a week, and Ruben Amorim has come out and said in one of his press conferences that Benjamin Sesko is ready. He's obsessed with football. He's apparently a very smart player. He's asking all the right questions. I'd be pretty disappointed if we saw something like Cunha in the 9 role, Bruno in the left 10 space, and then you bring in maybe a Kobe Mainu to play in this space. I want to see the new number 9 play. I understand that you're probably giving up something in midfield, because obviously if you play Bruno in one of those 10s, then you can shift into a midfield 3 at times. But Benjamin Sesko is the main man up front for Manchester United, and I really want to see him play, and I think that Ruben Amorim is going to start him on Sunday. So let's talk a little bit about Arsenal. So this is what I think they are going to go with on Sunday. I obviously don't know as much about Mikel Arteta's team selections as Arsenal fans would. So if any Arsenal fans are watching this, please drop in your comments down below who you think is going to be in the starting 11. But I think he's going to go with David Raya in goal. I think he's going to go with Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and Skelly as his back four. I think he's going to go with a Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard midfield 3. And then I think across the front 3, you're going to see Bukayo Saka, Victor Gyökeres, and you're going to see Gabriel Martinelli. Now, there have been some conversations that people think that Gyökeres might start off the bench and he might bring in a Kai Havertz. Obviously, we know what Kai Havertz brings. When Arsenal are looking to build, they can go long. But I'm pretty confident with a Harry Maguire, if he is a center half, winning those aerial duels against a Kai Havertz. I'm confident with a Harry Maguire winning duels against any striker in the Premier League. Why I think that Mikel Arteta might go with Victor Gyökeres is because we know that he is a channel runner. He loves to make those runs in between the fullback. I know we don't play with fullbacks, but the fullback and the center half. So he likes to make these runs in this space here. He likes to make these runs in this space here. And if Maguire steps out or whoever's playing center half, I think Victor Gyökeres could see some success when he runs those channels. So I'd be interested to see if Mikel Arteta goes with what he knows, which is Kai Havertz, or if he goes with their main man, number 9 signing in Victor Gyökeres. Now, where I think Manchester United could struggle in this game is in the midfield. I think now that they have a real tempo setter in Zubimendi, they have a horse in midfield in Declan Rice who can get up and down the pitch. And then you have the creator in Odegaard who likes to get into these pockets here and link up with Saka. I'd be a little bit concerned with Shaw isolated against Bukayo, especially if Odegaard drifts out wide. If you ever have a situation where you have a Bukayo versus Shaw 1v1, it's not really in a position that Manchester United want to be. I would feel more confident with a Lenny Euro out defending 1v1 against Bukayo Saka. But Bukayo Saka can make any fullback in the Premier League look silly. He is a top player, one of the best attackers in the Premier League. So I think that there can be some real issues if Bukayo Saka can get isolated. I also think, and we all know, Arsenal are quite dangerous from set pieces with threats like Gabriel. You have Declan Rice. Now you have Victor Gyökeres, not necessarily known for his aerial prowess, but he did score a header in their last preseason game. That's why I think Manchester United should go with size in the back line, and I would go with the Harry Maguire. You have Benjamin Sesko as well, who can help with set pieces. Lenny Euro, Ruben Amorim alluded to, is getting better with the set pieces as well. So I think those are definitely areas in which Manchester United can be hurt by Arsenal. So how can Manchester United win this game? Because this is a football channel, but is a Manchester United channel, as I am a Manchester United fan. Well, I think Manchester United have to be as direct as possible and as quickly as possible. I think the game plan when they're building deep it's going to be nothing new, is to hit the channels, and you need a Benjamin Sesko to be able to hold up the ball and create the overloads in this position. And then if you can do that, we've seen with Manchester United in the preseason that they have been linking up well. There have been some good patterns of play, some good passages of passing throughout the midfield. And if you can get a couple of quick 1-2s, I like the ability of Dorgu and Ahmad to get forward. So it's the same thing on the other side. Obviously, in this situation, if you can get Cunha on the ball to turn and face, draw in these players, and then get Dorgu to make the run, and then get Sesko to also stretch in the channels and behind and hit them like that, I think United can have some success. Also, of course, on the other side, if you can get Benjamin Sesko up against perhaps a Lewis Skelly, if he can drift wide and then you push Brian Mbeumo to occupy Gabriel in this space, you can win a duel with Benjamin Sesko against Skelly, link the ball here, and then have Bruno, who we all know likes to play those balls over the top. And you're going to be asking Martinelli to do a lot of tracking, because we know in this system, although Ahmad is a wingback, he is very attacking. So he is going to attack these spaces. Martinelli is going to have to track. And there may be a moment where he doesn't necessarily pick up Ahmad, and then we can get into these spaces and we can start to flood these bodies forward. Another way that I think Manchester United can hurt Arsenal, and this is exactly why I want Benjamin Sesko to start, is his aerial ability. Now, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, I think that Gabriel and Saliba are arguably or probably the best center back pairing in the Premier League. I think they are brilliant. But I think there are going to be moments, especially because we're going to be at home, there are going to be moments where Arsenal might sit a little bit deeper and say, go on, then United attack us. I think we saw a lot last season when teams would let us have the ball is when we struggled. When you watch the game against Liverpool, when we were at Anfield and we drew 2-2. You watch the game against City at the Etihad when we won 2-1, Amad Diallo late winner. When you watch the game Arsenal at Old Trafford, where I personally think we were the much better side. When United don't have much of the ball, they can be very effective. And I think that Ruben Amorim really knows how to set up a block, a defensive block, and United can go then and hit teams on transition. But if there are moments in the game where Manchester United are the team with more of the ball, I think United really lacked a focal point in the 18 last season. They really lacked a number 9 with a presence in the box. Rasmus Højlund, a lot of times the conversation was he wasn't getting much service. But as a number 9, I understand that you need the service, but you also need to have the ability to create chances for yourself. I made a video about what Benjamin Sesko will bring to Manchester United, so shameless plug. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go and watch it before the Arsenal game. He finds ways to peel off into this backspace at the back post, and we know what Brian Mbeumo, we know what Bruno Fernandes, we know what Matheus Cunha can do. Get on the ball, hit those balls into the back post, and then you have a Sesko attacking those areas. I think For Manchester United to win this game, they are going to have to do their best to find Benjamin Sesko as often as they can when they're in the final third. I also think it's going to help that Cunha and Brian Mbeumo are also very willing shooters, and they can shoot the ball off of their own creation. They don't necessarily need players to create for them. They can create shooting chances on their own. So what that means is the other center halves can't just play off of the 10s and be really occupied with Sesko. They also need to be very aware that the number 10s in this side are very willing to shoot the ball from inside the 18, from outside the 18. And we know again what Bruno Fernandes can do. And then when you have Amad Diallo stretching the pitch, and then you have Patrick Dorgu stretching the pitch, I think there could be a recipe for success there for Manchester United. But there is no doubt about it. This is going to be a very difficult game. But I'm excited. United, Arsenal, football heritage, as Jose once said, at Old Trafford. I mean, in my opinion, it's the perfect match week one. It won't be so perfect if Manchester United don't get to 3 points, of course. But I think it's a really good test. You know, the vibes have been great from what I'm seeing. Apparently, the team is really gelling. I've alluded to this before. They've had the offseason. They've had the preseason with Ruben Amorim. He's got his chance to implement his style of play. Manchester United have to come out the gate strong. And it would be a huge boost for the morale of the side to win not only in your first game of the season, but to beat a serious title contender in Arsenal would be massive. I'm really excited to see this front three play if Ruben Amorim decides to go with the three of them to start against Arsenal at Old Trafford. So as always, remember to leave your comments down below. What do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think Ruben Amorim is going to start in the game on Sunday? If you're an Arsenal fan, who do you think Mikel Arteta is going to start in the game on Sunday? I appreciate everyone for watching. That is it for this one. Remember to hit the bell notification so you never miss an upload. We are going to be dropping a reaction video right after the game, so make sure you stay tuned for that one. I appreciate everyone for watching. We'll chat soon. Until next time, peace.